Powered by Riverside.
It's the Dynasty front office, and we are building you championships one trade at a time.
Hello, everyone. This is Austin Bell, your host for the Rookie Prospect Profile of the Week. And this week we have Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State. He is freshly turned 21. 6'3" and 195 pounds is what ESPN tells us, but we'll see in a couple weeks at the Combine. His 2025 season, 51 receptions, 875 yards with 9 touchdowns, and 24 had 52 receptions, 733 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He is a true junior, so he's an early declare. Before we go too far, which one of y'all like him more? Let's let y'all go first.
That's a good question, Chad. How much do you like Carnell?
Well, I think I said probably a month and a half ago, he's my favorite player in the draft.
Oh my! Okay, you like him more than I do.
All right,
but
I'm not saying he's the best player in the draft, but my favorite player.
Okay. Let's hear your good first.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good things, right? We can talk about the size, the strength, the body control, the strong hands, how natural he is at the position, right? Nothing feels forced. He really, really, really just gets the ball. So if something's out there for him, he's going to attack it, which, that's number one for me. You got to have in a big wide receiver. He plays pretty physical. But for me, the thing that I can't get over is the route running and how quickly he gets out of his breaks and is able to find some separation from corners. It happens in an instant. For his size, I just think you can't really go wrong with a player that can do that.
I would agree with, especially the route running for the size. I think that is probably his most impressive trait. Jesse, anything else you want to add to that on the positive side?
On the positive side, all right, I'll boil it down for you. Out of all of the wide receiver twos in this class, and there's a lot, he's my favorite.
I think that's how I would feel. Okay, I can get behind that statement. I won't get into my negatives because I'm not there yet. Chad, what would you say his biggest flaw is?
Probably long speed.
Yeah,
okay.
Top end speed.
I was going to ask. I think consensus would be is if he tests high 4.5s, low 4.6s, does it throw you off any with his game? Or
no, 4.5 is going to be fine. I mean,
okay. What if it's 4.65? Does that change it then?
Yeah, I mean that's a little concerning, but I mean we've seen players, if there is a player that is gonna prosper with those kind of metrics, from a combine testing standpoint, it is this kind of player. So it's not something where I'm gonna be like, he's cut from my list here, because we've seen him get separation.
Yeah.
We've seen him, create space for himself, which a lot of the prospects that are his size that we've seen fail, that's the one thing they can't do.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So guys, his size, a lot of time, they don't get a separation with that like I always say about Keon Coleman, wears defenders like a backpack.
Yeah, I agree with that. Go ahead.
When we cut Keon a break, he's had a rough week.
He has had a rough week.
We don't need to come on, Jesse.
I actually do feel bad for him because he actually does seem like a genuinely pretty nice guy. So.
Yeah. We could have used Xavier Leggett. I would have been totally fine with that.
There's so many.
You're right.
He hasn't had a rough enough week. We can go ahead and
the Patriots wide receiver. I've dug him out of my mind.
Javon
Kyle
Baker?
Williams.
No, Kyle Williams separates. Javon Baker.
No, not Javon Baker.
Which is
the one they took.
There,
the one they took in the first.
Jalen
no,
Polk?
Not Polk. Or before that.
The problem is you can keep naming all the bad receivers that the Patriots have drafted, and they're probably accurate.
It's gonna bother me now because this dude was
all right. You looked that
really
up.
Highly thought of in dynasty circles.
You looked that up, and I want to talk a little bit about what kind of player that Carnell Tate is. So people are going to comp him to T. Higgins, Drake London, the bigger, smoother wide receivers. And I agree with that. There's a difference, though, with a player like Tate, because he's an Ohio State player. Like, I don't love scouting helmets or programs or whatever, but we know that wide receivers coming out of Ohio State are going to be polished and smart football players. And that's what he is. You see it on the field. You see it on the film. It's very easy to spot. He doesn't just win because of his physical attributes. He sets he sets defenders up. And that's one thing that makes me not worry about his long speed as much, because he knows how to get open and run a deep route, as they say.
My man, look at you. I'm impressed.
He'll be technically sound and won't necessarily have to always, he's not going to win on those deep routes at the percentage that you want, but he will be effective, like I said, because of the technical part of his game. So I just think that he is, as an athlete, smoother than Drake London, smoother than T. Higgins. He doesn't really have like when it comes to the short intermediate game, he doesn't really have a flaw. I would say his contested catch, I mean, his hands are ridiculous. He doesn't drop anything, but Drake London is like truly special at that. So maybe he's not as elite at that trait as Drake London, but he's just a better player. He's just a better football player than either one of those guys. As a prospect. Okay.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
I'm not going to say that he's a better football player than T. Higgins after 5 years in the NFL. No. But he's a better prospect certainly than Drake London coming out.
Oh,
and I think
Ooh.
T. Yeah. I think very, very highly of Carnell Tate. I do see him, though, as just a high end wide receiver too.
Yeah.
That can have spike years that are wide receiver 1 years. That's like my likely outcome for him. His floor is so high. And obviously anyone can fail, but this is the type of player that you would never expect to fail. There is a chance, right, that in a Drake London way that he becomes an alpha, but I don't know if he's quite that kind of dog. What do you think?
I disagree.
You disagree? Okay.
I disagree. I mean, here's the thing about guys like Carnell Tate. It's super easy to get lost in like some of the things that he does really, really well that aren't as flashy, right? Like the run blocking, extremely good run blocker. Never drops a pass. I think he didn't drop any passes last season.
No, right? I don't think he had a drop.
Yeah. He also does the flashy stuff like the contested catches. I think he was above 85% contested catches this past season. So it's one of those things where like I think it depends on what you're focusing on, right? Because he does so many things so well. Long speed is the one thing. Like I said, that's the one gripe about him. But when you can get open, if a team uses him correctly, if they use him on the short and intermediate game, and they let him be the bigger bodied bully that doesn't have to be a primary X running verticals all day long, I think he's an alpha wide receiver. I think he's a wide receiver 1 for somebody.
Right on.
But it just depends on the role he gets, right? Like if they're going to say, okay, this is our big X who's just going to run vertical routes all day, then it's just not going to work for me. As far as him being a primary wide receiver.
Yeah. I mean, if he gets used the way Puka is used with the Rams, he will smash. They got those intermediate over the middle in breaking routes. He'll be so good at that. He literally fit on any team in the NFL. Like look at the AFC. Look at the AFC East. He fits perfectly on every single team in the AFC East. Just think about it. With the Bills, Josh Allen, exactly what they need. With Drake May, exactly what they need. As a complement to Jalen Waddle, perfect complement to Jalen Waddle, right? Speed guy on the other side. Both of the guys can move around the formation. And with the Jets on the other side of Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see like the usage, right? Because I think the one safe the one safety that you have drafting Carnell Tate in your rookie draft is knowing that the draft capital is going to be so high that if a team is taking him, they expect him to be their one, unless, it's like the Giants who have Malik Neighbors. But even in that scenario where Malik Neighbors is kind of that guy that can be moved around the formation, Tate only played in the slot 10%. This past season, a little bit over 10%. So it's not like he's going to be a guy that is moved around. If you have a player like that, he is going to be on the boundary a lot more. But I think the role is going to be so vast. Like there's going to be so many different things he's asked to do. It's going to be really hard to keep track of him. I can't say enough good things about him. Like I said, my favorite prospect in the class.
Yeah, you guys have both said that you like the fit with the Giants. To me, I'd rather see him somewhere where he can command more targets.
I just want him beside Alpha, personally. I think, to me, that's what fits his game. And maybe part of that's because watching him beside Jeremiah Smith or across from Jeremiah Smith makes it feel like that's what he's good at. But it worries me a little bit that he doesn't see the defensive coverage slide to him ever in college. And I would love to see that, but we're not going to get to until he's in the NFL. So,
but that's something you can nitpick with like every other Ohio State wide receiver, right?
Because one of them always commands the number one. That's kind of
Well, what I'm saying is there's always more than one coming out of a class that is, or coming out from a class that is really, really good, a class of Ohio State wide receivers, right? Like they always have a group of guys who are capable of being high-end wide receiver prospects. So I don't think it's fair to say, just because a guy wasn't afforded the opportunity to do it doesn't mean he can't do it. I think he has all of the intangibles to be that kind of player.
I think there's a lot of similarity the way he's looked at, or a lot of similarity to JSN coming out. So JSN was really the same situation, right? A lot of the same things were set.
No, he was the alpha on that team. He led the team in receiving as a freshman.
Yeah, but he had all those other wide receivers around him, wasn't it? It wasn't
dominated targets.
It wasn't his last year, until his last year, right?
No, as a freshman, he had almost 280 yards as a freshman. And
okay.
But to me, I don't think, I guess my next question would be is how would you view him compared to Egbuka? It sounds like both of y'all like him considerably more.
I'm sorry, that's who I meant.
Okay. That I can agree with.
The difference is where they play on the field and the size. I like him. He's a much better prospect than Egbuka to me.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's a much better much better player.
He's a better route runner. He's a better contested catch player. He's got better hands overall. Like Egbuka's hands are good, but they're not Carnell Tate. He's just a different class of player to me. I mean, Egbuka's very good, but I think we still have him like as a late first, where Carnell Tate I think is a high first in most wide receiver classes.
I mean, Egbuka was struggling to outproduce Kate Stover in that offense. So I mean, it's not like I don't think you can.
No. He's talking about
Kate Stover.
Oh, you mean in college?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I just don't think. I don't think. I mean, I don't see it. Like I don't see the comparison personally.
I'm not comparing. I was just curious where you were at.
They're entirely different players. Like Egbuka isn't the technician or the route runner or the contested catch or the hands guy that Carnell Tate is. They're just, like I said, a different class of player.
Okay. Ideal landing spot?
I just threw them all out.
Okay. So you're pretty much open to anything.
But Bills, he's exactly what the Bills need. And to have him with Josh Allen would be great. I would love him opposite your boy Kayshon Boutte in New England. I think they'd be great compliments to each other.
Chad, are you going biased?
I think it's going to be. I think the Giants is a really good spot for him. I think a pick later, or a pick earlier, Tennessee at 4 would be okay. But I don't think that's likely. I think Kansas City would be really, really interesting.
I guess I'm not being realistic with where people are drafting.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much He's
Yeah.
for sure going top 15. I mean, I think borderline top 10 is what we're looking at now.
He's.
Kansas City
I
would be
think
great.
he's the favorite to be wide receiver 1 off the board right now, isn't he?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked.
I mean, that's exactly what they need, is a real deal outside wide receiver.
Yeah, Kansas City would be perfect because they just haven't had a guy like him in a long time that is just a do-it-all kind of player.
And now that they soft-fired Matt Nagy, we don't have to worry about their offense as much.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Did you guys wonder about why Matt Nagy was he was replaced before he got a job? Like, he was interviewing for head coach jobs, which made me think that like he was going to stay in Kansas City if he didn't get one. But no, Bieniemy's back. So yeah, he just got like quiet, soft fired. His contract expired, and they were like, "Well, best of luck to you, I guess."
It happens. I guess my last question is, how would you have him with McMillan and Hunter? The cream of the crop of last year's class. How would you have him compared to that?
You know, I forgot about Tet because he's a similar mold. I mean, I like Tate better as a prospect, but Tet obviously has proof of concept and is I mean, he's a wide receiver 1 in the NFL.
I was pretty high on Ted. I like them. I like them pretty similar. I think they're pretty similar prospects as far as the high end goes with them, and I think the floors are pretty similar too. I actually think they're pretty similar. Maybe not exactly similar players, but as far as like how my outlook for them is pretty similar.
As a pure wide receiver prospect, I liked Hunter better. But we've seen.
There's just so much other baggage with that
right,
that
exactly.
It's kind of taken over at this point.
So, would I take? Well, knowing what I know now, I would take Tate over Hunter, and I would take Tet over Tate.
Yeah. Okay. If Hunter had none of the other baggage, then I think it's pretty easily Hunter, just because of the intangibles being so astronomically high. But also the risk reward for that was always going to be
right.
Pretty
it's
crazy.
A big swing. But having seen Tet in the NFL now, knowing that he's an alpha, I'd take him over any of these guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Any of last year's class and any of this year's class, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to tease some future prospect stuff. Have y'all done Lemon and Tyson enough to have your rankings for top 3s?
Yep, I'm good.
Where's Tate at in the top 3 for y'all?
He's 1 for me.
Oh, to have rankings, not opinions.
Just those 3 guys.
Those 3 guys.
It's tough. It's tough for me to rank because I think out of the 3, I think Lemon has maybe the highest ceiling.
Really? You think Lemon has the highest ceiling?
I could see him being a number 1, man. I could.
I think it's hard to argue with Tyson, man. Like that, talk about ceiling, Tyson is.
Well, Tyson has a really high ceiling too. It's the injury stuff that.
Yeah, I mean, but if we're talking about strictly like ceiling, Tyson's.
But also, Lemon is a different kind of player. Like Jordan Tyson is not a run after catch player where Lemon is.
Oh, I did want to bring that up.
Like ball in the hands kind of player.
I'm glad you brought up Yak. I forgot. I had that in my notes. Tate has almost 0 of that.
Yeah.
Is that a concern for y'all? Because it's like
no,
it's really bad for like college percentage wise. Like he's at the bottom percentile in Yak.
He's not going to break tackles. That's not part of his game, but that's okay.
Okay,
that's okay. Not everybody's going to be elite at everything.
Sure,
but yeah, that's definitely a downside to his game. He's not going to break tackles.
Okay, I have Tate 2. I know it sounds like I don't like him, but he's actually my 2 in the class currently.
He's 3 for me, but that could so change. Like Tyson, Tate, and Lemon are so close for me right now. Just the landing spot or just draft buzz or whatever.
I just want to say, like, we can say that, but Tate's yards after catch per reception is higher than Jeremiah Smith's this past season.
It might be an offensive thing.
Yeah, it's it's not much higher, but it is higher than Jeremiah Smith.
I'll go ahead and say Lemon's easily my one. It's not even really that close for me. He's in his own tier.
He's in his own tier. Wow.
Yeah.
See, I like Tyson the best out of all these guys because you know I have a type. You know, like Tyson is like the big, busty blonde to me. He's my type.
I'm a brunette guy, so that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, it does. Right, and then you know, see Tate. To me, Tate is the girl next door. She's the safety. You know, if you strike out with the hot blonde, you go for.
The problem with what the girl next door is that you can't acquire. That's the thing. Yeah, I mean they are totally different, which is kind of what's cool about these three guys. Is it's really just like pick your flavor because they are.
That's
different.
what I'm struggling with. You know, once I see the testing and you know where they go and how much I like the fit is probably going to determine the order.
See, I would put Tyson as the redhead.
I see what you're saying.
Because like when you find the right redhead, like it's tough to beat.
Yeah,
and then like I'm fine with Tate being the blonde. Yeah. But yeah, that's our 2026 rookie prospect profile of the week. Next week,
that's it.
We are going. Yep, that was it. We did far enough on that. Next week we're going with Kenyon Sadiq. Get to go in the tight end, maybe tight end one of the class.
Nice, maybe.
All right, yeah, I'm excited for Sadiq too. I've been watching him.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the front office. The lights are low, the boards are lit, and the Dynasty clock is ticking. From the heart of the startup draft to the championship throne, one crew rules the long game. Give it up for the undisputed architects of empire, Dynasty front